We are at Houston Motorsports Park, and we got the truck out here. So Keith is here, kind of helped me do some tuning, and we're probably just gonna get quite, you know, after it this morning or afternoon. So this is 1/8 mile, so we're not gonna be able to know what it does in 1/4 mile officially, but we're gonna do some testing on the shocks and stuff today, which I've never done before. So we made some adjustments. We just did the Calvert Racing shocks in the back. We put them at a setting of 5, kind of basing off their initial settings, and the Viking adjustables in the front are compression set at 12, rebound set at 6. Are we going to be close? I don't know. I don't know. We didn't really mess with the cow tracks either, which are a little bit off the late spring, but we're out here. We're going to just kind of get after it, and I'll throw you guys in the truck and we'll go make that first pass. So here we go. Couple other notes, sorry, before we just go into racing. I've got the transmission set up to 6,000 RPM. I don't know if it's going to shift there. I've really never left off the track where it doesn't on full throttle, because I can't do full throttle in this truck without it blowing the tires off on the street. So that could be an issue. I'm going to leave it and drive, I think, the first pass to kind of see how it goes and see what it does from there. Thank you. 27, yeah, that's slow. 190, 60 foot. It's 3/10 off, which is a big deal. This is why they call it test and tune and not test and break records, right? Yeah. All right, let's talk about it. I had some family at the track, so I didn't do a whole lot of filming there. It's just I wanted to kind of get everything going and didn't really want to get distracted and forget what I was doing, since it's been a while since I've been to the track. So I don't have a whole lot of commentary from the track. But let's go over the first pass. And the first pass, you know what? Why don't I get my time flips and then I can reference that with y'all. All right, found him. And I'll try to hold it up for you guys. So first pass was awful, and if you don't know the history of this truck, let me do a little synopsis here. I took this truck on sick week a couple years ago. It had a little bit of a different combination on it. I had a stock rear end in it with a 350 gear and a locker. I had a turbo 400 transmission with a Jegs budget torque converter kit, and it's been 1.64 60 foot on its best pass on a 26-inch tire, but I usually run a 28-inch tire, and the best 60 foot for that is a 1.66. The best 1/8 mile with the 28-inch tire has been 7.66, I believe is what it was. On the 26-inch tire, it's been 7.60. So there's a little bit of differences here, but basically what I did is I upgraded to a 4L 80E transmission. We went to an 8.8 rear end with a 373 gear, so 350 to 373. We also went with a full cow track suspension on it. Like, it shouldn't have any troubles hooking anymore like it used to. In theory, the things that I've done to this truck should have made it faster. And well, obviously it wasn't. So on our first pass, we went 827 at 86 miles an hour. Remember, this is 1/8 mile, not 1/4 mile. But that's, what is that? That's 4, 5, 6, almost 7/10 off of where it should be. Definitely 6/10 if you're talking about the 28-inch tire. and it's down 3 miles an hour. So 1.90 60 foot, which is horrendous for this truck. So I knew right away after that first pass, something ain't right. So Keith and I went and looked at it, and well, sorry, I didn't get a data log on the first pass. So we decided, you know what, let's try to go back out and get a data log on the second pass, just here. Okay, pass 2, not much different. This time I went 8/16, so I did pick up a hundredth, which is good. Actually, almost a little over a tenth. I take it back, which that's good. And I picked up almost a mile an hour, not quite. It's 86.72, so maybe half a mile an hour. With 1.875 60 foot. So still leaving super lazy, and that just didn't make a lot of sense. But we were able to get the data log on it, and we looked at the data log, and we realized that the RPMs are going up on the data log, then they flatten out, and then they went right back up. And I compared that to an older data log where it's much more of a linear converter flash and go up to RPM. The good, I can tell you that this transmission shifts amazing. The old Turbo 400 was real soft and lazy, and I'm glad it was, because we found out that ears were broken on the trans, so we needed to remove it anyway. But we were thinking with a new fresh transmission, it's going to pick up that extra time with those quick and nice shifts, and it's shifting great. It's never shifted so good. 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So we looked at the data log, and I realized I needed to kind of change some shift points because it was shifting into third early. And I also realized, and almost, it's not even just a realization, I had a ramp going in from about 21 degrees to 28 degrees of timing. And so we were thinking, well, maybe it just wants more timing on the hit, because where that little flat area was, it wasn't at 28 degrees of timing. It was like 24 or something like that. So we're like, well, let's make some adjustments. So we put 28 degrees in it from full throttle on, from the foot brake off, and then we went out and made another pass. great. 817. I thought that one felt better too. All right. third pass, let me see if I can show you guys that. Hopefully it'll show up there. Okay, the third pass was essentially the same exact pass as the one before. I literally 1.8751 on the second pass, 60 foot, to a 1.8752 on the third pass, 60 foot, 5.32 to the 330 on both of these time slips. And then this the second pass was 816 at 86.72, and this pass was 817 at 86.34. So they're basically identical passes. If I was racing a bracket race, probably would have done really well. However, still way off the marker. We're 0.6 off of where we should be. I was hoping that this was going to be a good day where I go out and I make my first pass and we get it to where we want to be and get it ready to go and do quarter mile passes. So as far as that goes, those were the 3 passes that I made that are probably on film. I don't think I recorded the last pass, but Keith and I looked at everything, and we didn't see anything that was outlandish. The timing was where it needed to be. The AFR was where it needed to be. The transmission was in the right gear, because, you know, a lot of people are saying maybe it's leaving in second gear. No, it left in first gear. I've got that on the data log. It shows it. So it just really, really lazy. So I decided, you know what? What I had been doing previously is I was loading it up on the converter as much as I could get on the foot brake, which is around 2,800 RPM, and then leaving. And I said, you know what, let me decide, let me go out there and flash the converter and see if it makes any difference. So I went up there and I made a last pass, and I flashed the converter. So I only brought it up to about 1,500 RPM and then decked it when I left. And this was way bad. It was, well, actually, no, it was a little better, but the 60 foot wasn't any better. It was 1.88. The air had gotten a little bit better, so it went 813 at 86.91. So almost 87 miles an hour. So we're still 2 mile an hour and off of where it kind of should be. So I've been scratching my head for the past couple days. I'm not sure what's going on. So today I went out and I did a couple things, but I'll show you what I just got done. I just got done using the compression tester, and I did a compression test. And not only that, I pulled the plugs, and most everything's in the 130s to 140s, except cylinder 2, which is at 125 PSI versus all the other ones. Usually that's not too far off from the other ones. They're usually in 10-15% of each other, and 125 is 15% of my highest cylinder, which is 147-ish. So it's kind of in the realm, but the plug has a little bit of oil on it. Or it had actually a lot of oil on it, but I had already kind of cleaned it up when I looked at it the other night. So is the motor hurt? I don't know. I don't have a lot of definitive reasons for it to be so down on power. Also talked to a buddy of mine named Nick, who works at Brian Tooley Racing, and he basically said if I'm 3 miles an hour off, that's almost 50 horsepower or so. So the truck's down on power. So I have a couple things going on. I have a dumb theory in my head. For some reason, it's a little hard to turn the wheels when you jack it up off the ground, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. I'm thinking, well, maybe the brakes aren't releasing like they should, which I don't really think that's what it is. I don't. But it could be. It could be. Might be something to look into. Another thing is I have a bit of a vacuum leak, or just something kind of going funny with the vacuum. I'm not sure if it's a leak, but since I put these new valve covers on, they're not really vented like they were originally. And I think that's causing some problems because the LS valve covers usually have a metered vacuum line, and this is just kind of straight open to the crankcase with the fittings that I put in there. No, that's on me. I love these valve covers. It has nothing to do with the brand Thule Racing valve covers. They're fantastic for the bargain that they cost, so I still highly recommend them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a catch can on it that's vented to atmosphere and kind of plug off the other vacuum stuff that I don't need. So that's another thing that I'm going to do, because it has been not running fantastic as it was before I put these valve covers on, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But also, these are the old different set of coils that I used to kind of get by until my new coils came in. So I'm going to change the coils out as well, and then put that, like I said, put that catch can on. And I also ordered a adapter so I can run fuel pressure sensor, because I don't actually run right now because the way everything is. I actually don't want to really check for pressure here. I want to check it on the rail, so I've got something that I can adapt on the rail coming, so I can do all that. Let me jack up the truck. Oh, nope, I'm not doing that right now. Sorry. I was going to show you guys that if I jacked up the truck, got it running, and put it in drive, and then put it in neutral, the wheels stop pretty fast, and that's not really desired. I would hope it had a little bit more ease of resistance, and it doesn't seem to. So I don't think that that's the issue, because I've driven this thing around a bit and it doesn't, the brakes aren't getting hot. So if the brakes were hanging up, they would probably be getting hot. Now, could they be releasing late? That's very, very possible. I don't know. But I think it's just down on power, and we don't know why. Cylinder 2 is suspect. It's very suspect. So if I do all these things again, which I'm planning on, I'm going to back off the e-brake a little bit too, to make sure that the e-brake's not hanging up on it anywhere. And I get it running again, and it kind of just make sure everything's happy, and we have the same results. I have a feeling that this thing's hurt. And that sucks, because my main goal for this motor, for some weird reason, just my own argumentative sake, I guess you could say, is I wanted to take a stock LM7 with a cam and set of headers and go 11 seconds in it, just because, well, the Mopar purists really don't like it, and I wanted to just be able to stake that claim and just kind of go from there, which, if it's hurt, that kind of puts a little rub on it. But I do have another aluminum 5.3 liter that, if this is hurt, we're going to throw that dude in here, and we're going to go back out and try to get it done. So anyways, that's a long spiel of, just basically saying I may have hurt the motor when we hydrolocked it, when the injectors hung open when we were first starting this thing up. So that would have been my bonehead play, because I didn't send the injectors off to get checked. And I also trusted that brand of injector, which I probably shouldn't have, just based off of all the feedback that they get. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle. The only other thing I can think of is to run a different map sensor and run the onboard map sensor, and I don't think that would change much. I really don't. So no definitive answers. The only other things it could be is maybe we have an issue with the transmission or the converter. Maybe the trans is slipping, or maybe the converter is not doing what it should, or not applying like it should. I don't know that stuff very well. It doesn't seem like it's slipping. It just seems like it's low on power. And with the way it's shifting and it being down some horsepower, mile an hour wise, it's probably not either of those things. But I'm talking through it with you guys. Let me know what you think. What do you guys think? You think I got something going on and I don't know? I did change the intake in the throttle body, but that should have been for its benefit, and that should definitely helped, at least on the mile an hour side, more than anything. So I don't know. Y'all tell me. All right. So we got it to the track. Good. Truck's running. Suspension is on, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to have to go out and test it another day. So anyways, if you like this stuff, you like the Dakota, you want to see it do some more cool stuff on the track and not fail as miserably as it did today, keep following us, because I'm going to make this thing run what I want it to run one way or another. So other than that, I did get some parts in for the Nova. So I'll be putting the brake booster and the brake master cylinder on it because I'm taking this thing to a swap meet. Yeah, it's time to go to a swap meet. I'm not selling the car, but I am selling the engine. I've been wanting to sell this engine for a while. This is a 1970 Z28 LT1, and it's worth some money to the. It's not that it's worth money. I don't want to hurt this thing because it's a rare engine, and it came in Z28s and Corvettes in 1970, and it's a high performance small block from the factory, and it's a cool little motor. And I want to do some other things with this car, but I still want to run a small block. I just don't want to run this one and hurt it one day or something like that. So it's not like I want to pull this out and build it, because that could go into somebody's car that needs it, which is I care a little bit about, especially with the Nova. I do, you know, this thing's not getting an LS and not getting all that kind of stuff. It'll stay small block and kind of traditional and true to its form for the most part. So anyway, and yeah, we're gonna try to get the Typhoon rolling for Radwood. Greg's coming to town this weekend. This guy's gonna get all cleaned up, and need to get the AC kind of fixed up on it. It just needs a charge. And oh, I do have something done on Gramps, which I'm going to show y'all probably on the next video. And yeah, it's a good thing, very good thing. All right, well, thanks for coming along. Like I just mentioned, we got all kinds of projects, we got all kinds of things, and I think 2024 is going to be a good year. It's been a little rough year already, so I guess we can only go up from here. And well, that's what we're going to look forward to. You know, we need to make some positivity out of all these things that have happened. And yeah, we'll go from there. So anyways, I'll stop babbling. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you. We'd love to hang out and interact with you guys as much as possible, so please feel free to leave comments. You can check us out on social media at The Racer X Garage for Facebook and Instagram. It's the only two platforms we're really on. And well, if you want to get a t-shirt, something like that, you can check our website out at racerxgarage.com. You can go check out a couple things that we have there. Pretty cool little products. And other than that, that's it. It's it for the day, and I'll see y'all next weekend. Until then, y'all know the deal. Y'all be good.